Hello, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me, and this is kind of hectic. We've come over to Facebook because it's something different to do. Oh, hello. I am trying to invite my guests on. If you can see me, go ahead and shoot me something to request to come on. And I'm going to try again. It won't let me type it on. So yeah, go ahead and see if you can click that link to come in. I will try it as well on my laptop. And welcome everyone. This is the session for health and wellness. We're usually on Instagram, but today we are here on Facebook. And once again, no music. However, we'll get started in a second. Come on in. If you like, go to the link where you can buy stars and take a few minutes while we're waiting for the guest. And I'm going to try and connect on my laptop. I don't know. I'm not stress eating today, but I do have some Brussels sprouts I can be chewing on while I'm waiting for my guest. If you can hear me, Martin, see if you can request to come on. It's not letting me invite you. These are things we have to do while going live, right, everybody? You probably know if you're doing lives. That's just the nature of it all. Okay, it would be at the bottom, and you go from the left to the right, and it'll say request to come on. I'm also trying to do it from my laptop. Maybe it will allow me to do it that way. But it's okay. We have time. Okay, I see you. You were on. I was trying to try it one more time. I saw you. I see you trying to come on. You did well. And then you went off. So if you can try it one more time, that'll work. Okay. Hey, hey. We
All
did
right.
it.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing okay today.
I figured I looked so bad yesterday. I had to do
No,
something.
no, I
we
just want you.
got
Can you hear me
another
well?
person. Yeah, we got another person trying to come on. Or is that you?
I think that was me from maybe a couple seconds ago. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're good to go now. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
thanks for I kind of text the technicality of the devices. We'll get down pack in time. But I'm actually on my other phone. I'm actually recording this on my Instagram Live, so I'll send you this on Instagram Live, so that way it's kind of easier, so you don't have to download and send it to yourself. So I'll send this to you through Instagram through my other phone, so we'll be good to go. But yeah, this was an interesting topic. I know. Emotional eating and stress eating something where you find majority of people doing well throughout the day or throughout majority of the day, but they have that that 1 hour, that 2 hours, or that time where they're kind of stressed out, and they just want that food that makes them feel good, and then everything just kind of goes to shambles after that. So yeah, I just wanted to speak a little bit on this, and I know you have a great knowledge in this as well, and it's something where I think we spoke about the meals. I think we spoke about how to start getting motivated. I think now, or I want to be able to kind of go in a little more in depth on kind of what are the problems, what are the issues that people come across,
Hmm.
and I think this is probably the biggest one. In such a active lifestyle, in such a world where we're pretty much connected to a device, whether it's getting notifications from our friends or getting notifications from work, you literally can't get away from it. So we find ourselves sometimes, getting away from reality and just indulging that ice cream or taking a nice little meal on a steak and kind of getting away from everybody. And there are pros and cons to that. You always want to, please yourself and reward yourself going forward, but there also is kind of negatives to that as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this a little more.
I am too, because let me tell you, it's been a busy day. I did one of, of I had an engagement earlier today, and then I thought I had more time. And then I started cooking because people are like, oh, it's dinner time. I'm like, dinner? What's that? So I'm just going to be, um, will I offend you if I finish my Brussels sprouts and my little piece of chicken?
No, go,
and then
go.
and then I have my tea.
There you
I
go.
was
That's
gonna,
uh, one of the remedies on my board. So yeah, I don't mind. I just wanted to kind of nail these down. Obviously, as we're posting these over to our audience, they can catch up with these at a time that fits best for them. So, like I said, we wanted to touch a little bit on emotional eating and stress eating. People always think about the hardest time to kind of stick to a diet is like at night, because they're just so stressed out from all a long day. They finally got some time to sit down, and it's kind of like their time to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have my meal. So the biggest thing for me and the number one thing is understanding that you are going through an emotional state of eating or stress eating in terms of you just ate a good meal about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. You're not hungry. It's
right,
literally kind of impossible to be hungry unless you didn't eat right or unless you kind of eating half a meal and you're not eating a full meal throughout the whole day. I get it, but if we're relatively on a consistent meal base throughout the whole day, and you find yourself kind of getting those craving, just realize is it really because I'm hungry? And then, well, that's one of the things I said is sometimes it's your lifestyle. It may be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You might be really hungry because you didn't eat anything 8 hours or 9 hours before that. So it might be a hunger thing. But if you realize, hey, I've eaten 3 or 4 meals throughout the day. My last meal was about 2 hours ago. I'm finding myself getting hungry again. Maybe I just need to do something. I mean, the first thing is just realizing that, okay, this isn't me being hungry. And I think that's the
right.
first kind
Mind
of,
over that.
yeah, I think that's the first kind of way to attack it in terms of understanding that you can't control it. Understand that you are being rational with yourself and saying, listen, I did eat well, we're on my meals. It's just a long day. I read my email or I was on my social media platform and things just piled on and now I'm in that state of mind. So the number one thing is understanding what state of mind you're in, understanding the difference between being hungry and that
Yeah.
state of emotional or eating or stress eating. So that's my number one, is just kind of seeing that. And then kind of going into number two, it kind of connects with that, is just keep a food diary, or make sure you're counting your calories. That way you have that accountability to kind of show yourself like, hey, I just ate this about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I should be fine. I should be, and I think that'll kind of help you settle as you go out the days and the weeks. That'll help you settle your mind and ground you a little more in
Yeah.
terms of understanding
Right.
what to expect for the rest of the day. Hey, this is kind of my calorie range for the day. I know I shouldn't be overeating earlier in the day, then I'm going to expect to overeat throughout the rest of the day, and then at night it just becomes a downfall, a negative downfall from there. So I think the second one would be to understand, kind of, being accountable, being a little more on top of your calories. Not even, maybe not so specific, but just understand, being on top of your meals, understanding when and how long between your eating, and understanding that, hey, if I am going to have, a block of 6 to 7 hours of not eating, make sure I eat something after that. Make sure I eat something before that as well. So I think for me,
Mhm.
this would be to count your calories, count your meals, kind of time it out, see, are you are you getting cravings in the morning, are you getting cravings late at night? How you can subdue that a little bit going forward is just by keeping track and seeing what fits your lifestyle best from there. So not too hard, just really kind of mental questions, having you just prepare a little bit and understanding what you're going through. And then this third one now is now a little more where it's kind of like a physical thing. Like, okay, it's like, okay, we'll look in the fridge. I see the same food in there. I'm not gonna eat anything. What do I start doing? So I think the biggest thing from there is number three is, drinking some water, really seeing if you really are hungry. Testing it a little bit, going for a walk, possibly, getting on the phone, talking to a friend, for about 5, 10 minutes, just getting your mind off it, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm not hungry anymore. So the third one would be just to really test to see if you really are hungry, is to do something, whether it's drink a little water, or possibly commit to a physical activity, go for a walk, get on the phone. And usually when people get on the phone, what do they start doing? They start walking around their house. So it's something where it just keeps you busy, throws your mind off, and all of a sudden you get off the phone and you're just like energized, you're feeling good, you're feeling mellow. It's like, okay, I'm not really getting those cravings, but I'm just looking to do something. So that's the difference between feeling active and just getting cravings of food. So that's key, and it's hard, right? Especially different weather. You look outside, it's raining, it's cold. I can't even go for a walk. So I would go with the if you're gonna go on your social media platforms, your TikToks, your Instagram, Twitters, walk around the house and kind of lock in your tweets or something, and do some steps, or go up and down the staircase a couple times. And that way, just to throw off the mind, throw off the blood flow a little bit, get the muscles, get those enzymes in the stomach moving a little bit, and all of a sudden, it just wakes up your brain. Your mind's like, okay, we're fine. There's really nothing really going on. So number three is go for a little walk, drink a little water, do a little small activity from there.
Mhm.
And then this one's a little more intense. And I feel people kind of do this because that's when they feel that their body is the most at rest, is going for a little meditation, doing a little meditation. I think some people have the wrong intention of meditation is supposed to be, well, I can't quiet my mind. I can't quiet my mind. And that's normal. It's not supposed to be. It's literally there as a defense mechanism to make sure that if your brain falls asleep, it's there to wake you up and get you going again. So your brain really doesn't slow down. What we want to do is we want to be able to control it, manage it, so that when it is time to think hard, we can catch up to speed and think hard and process and work and do all this stuff. But when we need it to slow down, we've got to control and slow down. That's one of the hardest things for people to do, is they're always ready to go, but they just can't find that slow down and then pick it back up. You know what I mean? They just always go, 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 and then that's when they get burnt down, or they have to stay on coffee or energy drinks to kind of keep that sufficient level for them. So I would say meditate, but my terms of in terms of meditate is literally just unplug from everything. Don't look to think about
Right.
resting. Look to think about what you were thinking of. You know what I mean? That's kind of my angle on meditation. It's not, don't look to be relaxed and okay, I've got to feel relaxed. I want to feel like I'm in clouds. I want to feel like that doesn't work. After you've kind of mastered that skill, mastered that muscle, you can kind of put your mind in a state of mind wherever you want to kind of be. But the first thing for me is just unplugging. And the biggest thing that kind of helps is going in a room or even in a bathroom, where it's dark, don't have the lights on, or put something over your eyes and just unplug. Don't look to think about
Right.
anything in particular, and just think about not thinking about work and just be like, wow, I get 5 minutes not to think about that meeting, or I get 5 minutes where I know no one's going to bother me about that appointment that we have next Friday at 2 o'clock. So it's just being able to tell yourself like, wow, I can just get away. Wow, I can just get away kind of a little bit. And just unplugging, that's kind of my version of meditation. And then obviously there are guided meditations when you're kind of looking for, energy sources or healing sources and that such. From there, those, include, music and sound and all that, or different lights. So that's a whole different kind of story, a topic. But just for me, in terms of meditation, just helping people unplug a little bit and kind of realizing maybe I'm not hungry. Maybe my mind just working and just being active the whole time. Maybe I just got to shut it off. Because when your brain's going, your brain's telling you, hey, you're thinking, you need energy. Let's
Right.
fuel this up. But you have to understand that there's a difference between you doing actual physical activity and then your just mind just going off because you're just on Instagram for 30 minutes, an hour, thinking about the new car that you want to buy or the new kitchen cabinet you want to install, and that'll also keep your mind going. Whether it's not so physical, you might just be sitting down resting. It's also keep putting aware on you. So you literally have to unplug, especially, I mean, I have 3 devices in front of me right now. You literally have to unplug away from them and then recharge, and then you'll be good to go. So that's one of my, that's what I have here. Fourth is just to be able to kind of get away from those cravings, kind of put those, let your body know that you're in control. And like I said, there's a difference between, when you're hungry or when that state of mind is of an emotional state or stress eating state from there. And then the fifth one I have six. The fifth one I have is something that you're partaking in now, is literally having some tea. I think for me, as much studying, as much reading as I do, there literally isn't anything I find as beneficial and so easy to consume as tea, and so beneficial in terms of kind of in the morning or during the day or at night. And it doesn't matter what type of thing you're looking for, or what you're dealing with. Sorry, what you're looking for is that state of having your blood kind of go up a little bit as it naturally needs to, but then making sure when you're kind of having to go through a thought and such, but then naturally having a nice little calm down, to not have you have those cravings, not have you have that spike when all of a sudden now insulin is being pushed out throughout the whole body and now you're getting those cravings. So I think it's a great substitute, like I said, to kind of divulge into the realm of, okay, I'm tasting something. If it tastes good, it's also good for me. It's warm, and it's not going to blow up on 400 calories, 300 calories, very, very low in calorie rate. Like I said, there are different, there's immune boost, there's sleeping better, there's concentration, there's literally more for caffeine to give you a little more natural caffeine intake. So like I said, tea for me is something that I partake in as well. I try to on a nightly basis, but for sure 3-4 days, nights out of the week to kind of help me shut off a little bit from there. And then the last one that I have here is, did you want to say something before that? I know you wanted to see it.
I'm actually just writing mine down because I noticed when, because I agree, and then I will just add my 2 cents to it, because like you say, we're all different. But no, go ahead, and then I'll add to.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. And my last one is really just being honest with you. Don't beat yourself up. I'm the first one. It was the holidays. I had, people come by, bring me gifts, flavored popcorn, chocolates. I'm the kind of one where when I get those desserts, I literally finish them within that day or that next day because I don't want them around me. And then I know I'm going to have to work it off and this and that. It's just, I know if they're not the one who's kind of like, oh, I'll have a little bit now and then I'll have a little bit now. I'm just like, let me just enjoy it. Let me just divulge it. Let me just finish it. And then I have to think about it. I can say I had it and I can say I did it the right way and I go from there.
Yeah.
But I have my kind of foods that I'm able to kind of do that with. And like I said, the popcorn was the number one. I got like in Chicago, we got the Garrett's popcorn. I was delivered that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
popular. So many different kinds, you know what I mean? So I was just like, listen, I've literally finished the bucket within a couple of days, literally a couple of days. But it's done with, and now now I look back, and when I'm like, oh, I have a craving for something now, I'm like, listen, you had that, a while ago, and you went at it. There was no workouts in between, no little bits and pieces, good portions. So and then I kind of remind myself, and I'm like, okay, you know what, you're right. That's good. And then I just kind of move on. So I find myself doing that like once every couple months, once every 2 months, once every 3 months. I'll get like a good chunk of ice cream or a good, a bag of popcorn, and I'll just go at it, Friday night, Saturday night, watch a movie, put on some notes, get ready for the week and such forth. And I find myself doing that. But the biggest thing is don't beat yourself up. I think the more you stress out about not eating it, is actually causing your body more harm than if you just ate it and you just went on with your body and life and you just went on from there. So don't beat yourself up. Obviously, if it's something where it's consistent, you find yourself consistently, going down this bad path of eating late or just emotional eating. Try to fix it. Try to narrow down what the problem is. See if it is something that you can actually control by doing something a little more natural, whether it's working out more, drinking a little more tea, doing a little more meditation to kind of salvage that. Listen, there are people that are working 80, 90 hours a week, and I'm not saying it's easy. I understand, hard, heavy loads that people have to do, and that just means you just have to be a little more intense with that kind of recovery in terms of kind of getting away from the emotional or stress eating, as they say. So yeah, my last one was just don't beat yourself up. You're gonna do it, enjoy it, sit back, and then just kind of turn the page and then get over it from there. So, yeah, those were my kind of five. My sixth is kind of not so much, but yeah, those are kind of my 5, 6 from there to kind of understand the state of emotional eating and stress eating. Now, I'm not gonna say you can't feel emotional, don't feel stressed. We're human beings. You're gonna feel that. It's
Right.
just like risk. Everything you do, there's risk. The only thing is we want to be able to manage it. Same thing here. You're going to go through emotional states times in your life. You're going to go through times when you're just feeling stressed out and man, I just want to have that. Just let me sit back. No one bother me for 3 hours. It's fine. Just you understand that. Take accountability. Understand where you're trying to go, where your true goals are. And if that really aligns with who you want to be, then I think you can make the right decisions from there. So yeah, those are my 6 picks on that right there.
Well, you have some good points, and they're definitely valid because we are in this thing called life, and we do have to learn how to manage our stress. It's inevitable. We all have to go through something. I like the fact that the first one you said, be mindful, because that's first and foremost. When you catch yourself, then you can figure out what are the tools that I need to have so that I can decompress, so that I won't panic, because the world is in a panic. And because so many people are in a panic, they're making all kinds of mistakes, doing all kinds of things, and then what they don't realize is now after you get through it, now you're going to have to clean up all this stuff, all this mess that you made. But that's okay because that's the perfect reason why you have to eat healthy so that you can get your mind right. Be mindful of the foods that you're eating. I like when you said keep a food diary because when you do yoga and Pilates, It's imperative that you write down your feelings. It's imperative that you zone in to that very moment when something bothers you. Write it down. Try to figure out what it is that you can release. And if you have to talk to someone, understanding that it's okay to do that until you get through it. Now, the water, I mentioned that the other day, and matter of fact, today, I see Maria's on, and she said that she also drinks water and it curbs her appetite. So, yes, water is important, but can I tell you this? Coconut water. Coconut water can curb your appetite as well. And I personally like the coconut mango water because it takes away your sleep craving. And I think what people don't understand is that when you crave sweet stuff, it's your body needing fruits. So once you get in alignment and start making healthy choices and learning which foods to substitute. Like, I'm a chocolate fanatic. I love chocolate. That's because I used to be allergic to it, but now I can eat chocolate.
Wow.
So, but here lately, here's the thing. For a minute there, I was doing like a pound of chocolate every other day.
Oh,
But now my body, yeah, I'm a chocoholic. But now I've learned to eat healthy, and I've learned to give myself what I want, just like you say, eat what you want, get over it, and keep it moving. A lot of people think when you eat healthy that you don't eat chocolate, you don't eat, pound cake, you don't eat peach cobblers, you don't. No, you can eat it, but I'm talking to the ones that want to lose weight. That's not a good thing to do when you're trying to lose weight. But when you have reached your goal, you can eat whatever you want to eat in moderation. But making healthy choices, or especially if you have a disease or a diagnosis of hypertension or thyroid issues or something like that, you have to get your body in alignment, or what we say homeostasis, back to homeostasis, so that you can enjoy whatever it is you want to eat. But making healthy choices, it doesn't mean that you never eat things that is pleasing to you and your taste buds. So, and then I wanted to, when you said don't beat yourself up, that's the first thing we don't want to do, is beat ourselves up, because we're human. And every time you catch yourself, you just keep going. But if I always say life is not a race. Your body chemistry is your body chemistry, but mind, body, soul, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, once you get in alignment and all of those things, they all come together, you're good. And you start to realize, I'm in control of my being, and things it doesn't matter anymore. When I say it doesn't matter anymore, I mean that all the things that used to set you off, you can control it. It doesn't control you. That's what I meant on that.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And you said you had, what was the fourth one?
I had the meditation, and then it was the tea.
Meditation. Yes, it was meditation, because I do yoga nidra for weight management. You
Okay.
see, and then so like I told you, this is for January. For the last 10, 11 years, I detox. I used to say I fast and all kinds of things: fast, pray, meditate, detox. It all goes hand in hand. Okay. So as far as, and I heard you say you didn't want them to develop a stigma or and say, oh, he fasts or oh, he or she meditates or whatever. You know what? That's your journey. You can call it whatever you want to call it, as long as you're able to connect and get in alignment. For me, I detox more so because it gives me clarity in my mind. I can focus. I can be productive. I can be proactive. When I was fasting and praying, that's a whole different level. That's a whole different ball game because
Yeah.
people say they do that, but you really have to know that you know that you know. You really have to zone into that very thing you really want results from. So that's why I say we, as a society, we say things, but we really don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
No.
when you journal, go ahead.
No. That makes total sense. I think people think that they want a goal and then they think they know how to get there.
Right.
You know, you knew how to get, if you knew that, then you would have got there. You
That's
know.
perfect. I say that all the time. See, I told you we're here,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I say that all the time. People
It's
say one thing, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. But you can't keep yourself motivated to get it done. That's what I'm here for. And
yeah.
that's
Or
what you do.
yeah, or people are really good at getting out of level 1, level 2, but then they're just stuck at level 3 or stuck at level 4, and that's where you kind of have to have that foundation of what you were doing at level 1, level 2 help you. About the pray and the praying and the fasting and detoxing. You say you're doing it, but then in 6 weeks, where are the results? You say you're detoxing 4 days a week, but you're only doing it once. In
Yeah,
2 weeks we can't. No one can tell in 2 weeks, but in 6 weeks we can tell. And I think
yeah,
people don't have that patience. I wouldn't even call it patience. I just think it's kind of like an athlete. When you train to kind of a basketball player, you're training to hit a
yeah,
basketball, trying to hit a shot, and you try 10 times and you make it one time. Eventually, it'll get to 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But that time, that time is so different for so many people, and that's just life. That's just how it is. And
yeah,
you can do things to change your own results and curve your own results for how it's going to change, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for me. And
yeah,
I think people get turned off, because like, well, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was reading, I was studying, and I lost 10 pounds. I'm stuck now I'm stuck at this weight now for like 2 months now, and it's just like, yeah, I think all this material is great for someone to get into. Then after that, you've got to understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you. There's some foods that I love to eat, but I can't eat them. And I won't eat them. I want to lose weight. Yeah, I want to. You know what I mean? It's just, if that's in your mind, that's in your mind. Or if it's like, hey, I want to gain weight. Okay, make sure you're eating 3, 4 meals and you're doing strength training. It's not like, oh, I'm eating my burger. I'll get in the gym tomorrow. I'm bulking. We were talking about this yesterday. It's, you have to have intention with the goal.
yeah,
If that's your true
yeah,
intention, strength training and grow muscle mass, then yeah, have a little surplus in calories, and then make sure you're going hard in the gym to kind of build that bulk up and go from there. So yeah, that's interesting. You talk on that. I think a lot of people can. I mean, honestly, that's why we are where we are as a society. People can't hold to a standard to even have a healthy lifestyle. You know what I mean? Without someone having to kind of help them and or show them, or someone that they can trust. I think there's more people that have been burned by trying to do this weight loss thing than people who are actually trying to do the weight loss thing. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate,
yeah.
but that's how kind of people learn. But there's also people out there who think they know, and just putting stuff out there. I got results for you for a week, and it's just like, listen, I have results for you for the rest of your life. That's what we're trying to do here. we're trying to make sure, and one thing, and I don't want to go too much in, but one thing is people, start thinking about, oh, you're getting old, and they start thinking about, 40s, 50s for sure, 60s, 70s, 80s, and I'm thinking like, I have, uncles and grandpas and relatives that are in their 60s and 70s, and they're walking around fine. They're eating, they're going out, they're this and that. I'm like, I don't want to be, you know what I mean? I don't want to be, back pain, knee pain, joint pain then, because, as much as I'm stressed out now, this is where naturally my body's kind of fighting those naturally, those tendon, the
Yeah.
arthritis, the back pain. It's doing it now. It's doing its diligence now. But as it gets older, it just breaks down, and you want to be able to sustain that as best as possible. And the only way you do it is from within. What you're putting in your body, how you're, strengthening up your body, your mind, and then the spirit. I always the spirit. I don't relate with the now. I associate the spirit with where you came from or where you want to go. And that'll always kind of make you have to go in a frequency, you know what I mean, of a a higher frequency of the future that you.
Different level.
It's a different level, yeah. So
Yeah.
that
I get
was those are kind of my talks there, and trying to motivate people and kind of associate the two and have a little more accountability, kind of where they see themselves and where they want to go, and from there.
Yeah, and I totally understand that because it's almost like, well, let's just say this. Years ago, when I was conditioning, that's one thing people don't understand. When you're trying to make healthy choices and develop that mindset, you have to condition yourself. Not only that, it's like discipline, like martial arts. So
Yes.
see, I think for me, that's what I used to do, Ishinru, and it helped me to condition myself. So that's one of the things I help with now, helping people to get to that mindset. Because, like you said, if they can do that, they would be consistent. But people like you and I, we have that mindset. We condition ourselves where maybe we can do it a little bit longer. We're not perfect and we probably do fall off, but we know how to get back on track. That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the biggest thing also is the people who are on this journey, they're doing it for a reason. They want to feel better, want to feel happy, they want to feel satisfied, they want to be proud of themselves. And I think the biggest thing is for me, and I think for yourself as well, is that last one, not beating ourselves up,
Yeah,
understand, hey, I ate that, but I can go in the gym and do a really good, aerobic or cardio workout for 20, 30 minutes, and I'm going to feel fine.
right.
It's not the end all be all. Now, there are different routes where you're trying to, those individuals who are trying to lose, 30, 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. That's something different where I recommend putting everything around you, everything you even see as a positive impact in terms of kind of where you want to be, because that's a little more, it's a little harder. Your literally brain won't let you do what you wanted to do because it's such a stuck routine. It's something you mentioned before about a routine and getting your body ready. It's just to look at the professional athletes. They're getting paid
Yeah,
millions and millions of dollars, but when they start a season, what do? They have a preseason to get their mind
right.
ready, their body ready, to get their routine back to normal, back on par with what's going on. So if professional athletes who are paid millions of dollars are have
Right.
to find a way to kind of get this thing rolling, starting with their mind and being satisfied, then who are we to say that we're not allowed or we're not supposed to do that as well? So I love that you touched on that as well as the tap into this, and then the rest of it will follow. And it's just the perspective
Yeah.
of giving yourself that. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So that's what I help with. I know that you help do certain things. And then I was going to talk about the different herbs and the different teas that we consume on a daily basis. But I didn't know, well, like this is our hour show on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
So do you want to do early? So starting next Thursday, we can go 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, and then 8 p.m. or 9 p. Is it 9 p.m.? We're gonna go 7. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
So I know Marie is watching. Marie, do you want to come on and talk with us? And then we were going to talk about the herbs. If you want, I think we have about 15 minutes. That'll give us an hour tonight. If you'd like to come on, just click and so I can bring you on the platform and we can talk about that and get a person, get their opinion if she's still on. I'm not certain if she's still on, but yeah. And then the different, what I was gonna say was the different teas that are medicinal that can help you to decompress. There's different foods and spices, and I heard you say Italian seasonings. Now, I don't think people realize this, but like they say, Italian seasoning, soul food seasoning, and spices, but it's regional. And I don't know if people realize that because if you notice, we all eat parsley. We all eat, well, now people add turmeric to their
Yeah, yeah,
foods. They add, they add cumin to their foods, rosemary, sage. We all eat these spices. I don't care what part of the world you're in, it's all medicinal. They're all anti-inflammatory. They help with anxiety. But what people don't understand is how much of it to use. People are like, "Oh, I'm doing my ginger. That's nice, but do you know how much to
yeah,
consume?"
yeah.
So if you're not consuming a certain amount, it's not medicinal. So
Exactly.
that's something I wanted to let people know and to let them know that's the reason for one of my services is so I can help you to understand how much to consume. But it's like for you and I, like you'll eat it on your popcorn. Matter of fact, you put Italian seasoning on yours. I use this one that says no salt, but the same ingredients that's in Italian seasoning is in what I use. And then
Okay.
I add a little, yeah. So see, I think it's marketing. I think they think people don't recognize this, but it's the same herb. I believe it's got rosemary in your Italian seasoning. If you look at the ingredients, it's all the same. The
Wow.
only difference is, yeah, they may add like Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning has what? How do they say it? Margarine, mar, margarine. It's a flour,
I'm
and
not too sure.
that yeah, it's a flour, but they use it in Italian seasoning. It's thyme, it's rosemary, it's basil, it's sage. People all over the world cook with these herbs.
Yeah.
But if you learn how to add certain amounts, it becomes medicinal. But they all have the same healing properties. So that's the kind of thing I'd like to add into what we're talking about. If people learn how to sip teas and use spices in their foods, that also helps you to decompress. That's that's my segment.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, and I love the whole holistic kind of herbal side to it. Not many people think about it in terms of, but they have so many
Right.
strong beneficial properties to them that our body needs, and we forget about. And to be honest with you, with the tea, the only tea that I'm drinking is literally green tea. Nothing crazy, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just, some green tea. Obviously, the brands vary between one to another. I try to stick with one kind of not on the most expensive side, not on the cheap side, one relatively kind of between, and just have a good, a nice cup. I like to squeeze some lemon in there as well, not the whole thing, but maybe a half a
Yeah,
lemon in there as well to kind of help with that,
yeah,
with those properties in there of a lemon. And I used to do the whole honey thing in there as well. I kind of stayed away from it because I just found myself kind of pouring a little too much to kind of, oh, I'm getting honey, and then I'm just like bulking down like two teaspoons, 4 teaspoons, and I don't really need it. So kind of stayed away from that, but the green tea and the lemon does it for me, and that's sufficient enough for me to
yeah.
kind of feel good.
Well, green tea is the best tea to drink. And if you drink it every night at the same time, it's an antibiotic. Now, also, you can go to different stores and they have green tea leaves. That's
Mm,
the best tea. But a lot of people go to the store and they get the tea bags and you can do it like that. You
yeah,
do have to let it steep longer. And as far as the honey, 1 teaspoon of honey to keep it from being getting it becomes bitter if you leave the tea bag in the cup while you're drinking it. But some people like it that way. But if you start out with 1 cup of tea, you put 1 teaspoon of honey, the second cup of tea, no sugar. That's the medicinal part of the tea.
okay,
But a lot of people, oh yeah, I have my tea, but I can't have it without sugar. Well, then it's not medicinal.
okay,
Because by the time you sugar it up, it's not medicinal. It's
done.
only
Yeah,
medicinal if it's plain or 1 teaspoon, a half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, it's still medicinal.
wow. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Good to know. Yeah, so I just go with the green tea. Obviously, there are other teas out there that do them, but yeah, the tea bags that I pick up, they have those leaves. The one that you kind of were showing last time, where they have those leaves in a bag, as well as kind of like
Yeah,
a real leaf as well. Something similar to
that's
that.
that's
Yes. So it's something similar to that, but I don't find myself. I just do it, natural routine. I don't find myself craving it or needing it, but it's just something where it's like it's a nice little get my body ready to shut off. Get, go to bed now, or turn off the lights soon. Or so yeah, no,
yeah.
makes that was a good little topic. I'm glad we were able to touch on that a little more. And I know each week we'll talk a little more on something that's not so popular. Uh, it's, on the news that we want to be able to hit the topics, hit those problems for if we can kind of get this information to them. So this one was something that I've been thinking about with the emotional and stress eating, or the number one is they got in a breakup with a boyfriend or girlfriend. They want to just, watch romantic comedies and chocolate and eat ice cream. Just don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna regret it. Have
Yeah,
there and get over it. Or even the big thing is like for men after a long day's work, they have to have that beer. Cold beer does it for me. I found myself doing that back in my heyday, and it's they pile up after a while. One a day or two a day adds to almost like 8 a week, 10 a week, 12 a week, and start adding up. And if you're not working out, where is it going? So you want to be able to kind of stay away from those. Oh, I need a beer. Oh, shit. Find a substitute. There are other substitutes in there, and honestly, the biggest thing I relate to that, people need to want to unplug, and food right away helps them do that, because it just gets their mind off something. They start feeling those taste buds, start working, and right away they kind of get out of it. But if you kind of find a way to kind of, turn up the brain in a way where it doesn't have to have that beer or that ice cream or that dessert or that snack, but you get the reward of feeling relaxed, satisfied. And I think people have to kind of see what works for them and see how they kind of get away from it. So I hope these kind of steps help them. I think the tea is always a great suggestion at night for many people to go from there. So
Well, the thing is, are you hearing me? Am I cutting off a lot? Or do
no,
I sound okay?
yeah, I've been hearing
Okay.
you perfectly fine the whole time. Yeah, perfectly fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, now let me just say this for the tea. Some people can drink tea. I suggest like 3 times a day because it's your medicine. It's not, and it helps you to decompress. Um, Teas are different depending on the disease. Some people have high blood pressure, they drink a certain tea. But what people don't understand is the teas, uh-oh, sometimes. She said we both cut off at some time. Okay, Marie. I'm wondering, I'm not sure what that is, but um, I
Yeah, I
don't know.
do.
Okay, I was going to look for my other earbud because I only have one in and I can't find it. It's not within my reach because I thought this one was a bad one. I have one is excellent and one is not. But anywho, it'll be okay, and we'll keep working on this as far as our connections go. But I'm thinking we can do here um, on Thursday nights and on Tuesdays our Instagram, and that will remain at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday. But our evening sessions will now be moved to Facebook at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Um, Pacific Time. Now, who chose that 9 p.m.? I don't think, did we both agree on that 9 p.m.? I don't know how we got to 9
I
p.m.,
think
but we're now,
Yeah, I think it was just something where we just tackled it and went from one to another, and we're just trying to see what works for people, what doesn't work for people. Obviously, our message is going to be out there, but we also want to see who catch us on a live, ask questions that they might have on top of their head at the moment, and go from there. So we'll still be reposting these and sending the full formats on our platforms, whether Instagram or Facebook. But the thing is to change times. Obviously, going forward, we want it to be but I think this is a good little trial period to see what works, what doesn't work, and kind of go from there. You never know.
yeah.
In a couple weeks, we might have to change it again. But I think this so far might be well. The 6 p.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. With the 1 p.m. Mountain Time might be good. I like
Okay. Well, I'm going to add Marie on and see if she can come on for the last 5 to 10 minutes and we can just chop it up. She's been participating. Marie was also on my live when I was promoting my cosmetics. She was participating. Okay, she's declining, but that's okay. Um, I hope that you'll get to come on eventually. And if not, what we're going to do, Martin, is I'm going to have a platform. So all of us who have been collaborating will end up being on one platform where we all can take our turn communicating, talking about healthy choices, promoting what it is that we do, but letting people see that we all support one another. And in addition to that, we can let the community see that we have developed a rapport with people worldwide, nationwide, and we all support each other and we all are trying to help one another. I think that's what the world needs to see, is that people can come together and support one another. Even in these times, I think we're becoming more closer because we're communicating and connecting with people worldwide. And so we're all getting a different feel and we are doing business with different people. And then we can bring it back to like where I live, and they can see that, okay, it's many of fish out in the sea, and we all can come together and we all can support one another. So that's what I think is important. And don't forget, on Saturday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, I will be speaking with Deborah Noel Shaw every Saturday from 5 p.m. Mountain Time. She's in Tennessee, and she's with Voices of Savannah. And we're going to start tackling this stuff, getting people, bringing awareness and educating people, those who need to learn how to use um, the Narcan, because you never know. You can be in a community and or at the grocery store, and somebody passes out and you don't realize they are on opioids. They're opioid addicted. We've got a lot of issues in the community. So not only do we have issues in the community, but we can educate them on how to be their best selves, how to get in alignment, how to, like, what you do, what I do, what Marie does. People that have issues, they can come on our platforms and ask us questions, and we can help them, and we can assist independently as well. But to have a platform for many to see, we all have something to contribute, and we're all willing to help people that need our help. So that's what I'd like to add to our session in closing. So, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I would be more than excited to have that opportunity. And it's just being around people that have this similar mindset of helping people. And we understand people are motivated by different tangibles, different goals, different objectives, and we can relate to that. I'm more than excited. I'm more than proud to say that we're the ones to do it. I think you're a great person, especially inside as well, in terms of how you actually care about the person. Understanding that, hey, it's not going to be a 1 month thing. You're being realistic. You're being passionate. Guys, this is something that's going to be a lifelong journey, and we want to let you know that, hey, I'm here at your side whenever you need a little pit stop. I'm here for you, and I think you don't have that issue. So I'm excited. I'm excited, and I just wrote
Thank
that down. I just wrote that down. Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be catching that live.
4 p.m. Yes,
Pacific.
Pacific time,
Okay.
and it'll be here on Facebook. And then I think next month we're going to move the platform, since you and I are going to be here on Thursday nights, then Saturday nights with Deb. I think I'm going to move the platform to StreamYard, and that way people can come on the platform if they have questions. They just click the link, and then they wait in the green room, and we can bring them up and talk to them as well.
That'd
Yeah,
be awesome. Okay. Good. Sounds good.
yeah,
That on Saturday.
good. Thank you. And what's Marie saying? She says she'll join next time for sure. Okay, Marie, because you don't know. Yesterday I went on Martin's platform, no makeup, looked like dang it and I bite you. And then and then last night I was on another podcast, Miss J, MZJ. I was just participating, and she did the same thing you did. Come on the platform. I had no makeup on, nothing. But I said, whatever, what you see is what you get. But at least today, I tried to do something different. I haven't done this in years. And then at the end, I think in a couple of months, once I get you used to being used to me, Martin, then we're going to get you to guess my age, because you haven't guessed my age correctly yet.
That's one thing I don't do. I don't guess women's age. I don't guess their weight. I never answer those.
Okay, weight, I understand, but age, we are in a time where we all have to be thankful. We're still in the land of living because there's a lot going on in this community and in the world, period.
Yeah,
So each day is really a good day. That's why I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, I don't care if they know how old I am. But even the young kids, they think, well, how old is she? But I'll tell them one day if I get 1,000 people on my YouTube page, I'll tell them how old I am.
so
How about
I,
that?
there you go. That's a good fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So promote your page, Martin. As we end our session tonight,
Yeah,
promote your page. Tell them where they can find you, and tell them what exactly you do, adding to our collective group as we continue to collaborate.
definitely, definitely. Well, yeah, Hustlers headquarters. My name is Martin. I just want to represent a community of hustlers, as they say, but individuals who are looking to better their lives, whether financially, spiritually. I want to be able to have that community of people where they can come to and know that you don't have that older brother talk or that dad talk or that uncle to give you that real talk. You have a community with my channels, my Instagram posts, these live discussions, kind of get that insight, kind of get that experience, whether you have bad family issues, you don't have an older brother, you have issues with your siblings. This is a community for that. I want to represent it in the most healthiest way. We think about a hustler, we think about someone who's grimy, low integrity, takes to people. I think a true hustler has to himself. And I think in order to be a true hustler, you got to be at your best physically, mentally, and so what I do here is I able to have ways for people to encourage a healthy lifestyle, whether it's healthy routine, whether meal prepping, a workout, or a workout that works best for you. Finally finding motivation, confidence, purpose in your kind of journey. Where we kind of find that. So I really work hands on with individuals to kind of see where they stand in their life, where they are, and where they need to go. And I kind of give them the resources, or as they say, the blueprint to help them get there. So yeah, Hustlers headquarters on YouTube, Hustlers headquarters on Facebook, on Instagram, on on Instagram and on TikTok. It's Hustlers HQ. So it's just short Hustlers
Oh,
underscore you on those platforms. But if you wanted to get any of those platforms or any of those links, just go to the Facebook homepage and find the link there. I also have a link tree. I'm going to fill that out. If you have any questions or concerns you might have, I can fill out a nice little workout plan for about 6 weeks. Also, a little meal prep. I'm also there to help you in one-on-one talks that you as well. So yeah, let's roll around. Let's get going. Every time I hear, I think they say by 2025 or 2030, uh, I think it's more than half of the country is going to be overweight. So
really? Where
yeah,
did
yeah,
that one? See, they better get in touch with us so
yeah,
we can help them to get in alignment and to maintain, not plateau, not fluctuate, but to maintain and slow down the process of disease.
yeah,
That's important because in these times, having to go to a hospital and not being able to slow down the process of disease and cancer cells, um, nobody wants to be in the hospital, but
yeah,
especially during these times, it's not a good thing. So that's why we're trying to help people to um, be proactive in their care and do what your body is actually has been asking you to save it. Your body has been saying, help me, because people have been abusing their bodies. And now it's time to get in alignment where you don't have to worry about a loved one taking care of you.
Yes.
because you may have to take care of them. And if you're not your best self, you can't help anybody else if you can't help yourself. That's my
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah. No, I love it. I agree. I totally agree. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday over on Instagram, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, uh, 12 p.m. Pacific Time, and Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Don't be late because I'm on time.
there you go. I like that. I like that. That could be
Yeah,
your
don't
outro.
be
I
late.
like.
That's good. And Martin, I'll get with you in a few minutes because I do have something if you have a minute.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Marie. Thank you. Good night. Peace and blessings.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thanks. Bye-bye.